717-400-555. Niambie tuombe vipi siku hii ya leo. You can also use 20933 and that is my SMS number. You put that prayer request there and I'm very sure, 100% sure that the God who has answered so many prayers here will also come through for you this afternoon. And today we're going to look at Matthew chapter 7, Matthew chapter number 7 and verse 13, and I've titled this small devotion, or rather not small, this short devotion that is live right now. I'm live on Facebook at Top FM Live. Unaweza kuniambia kwa nipata fiti kama kuna kitu nafaa ku adjust. And Matthew chapter 7 verse 13, that is where we are reading from. And of course chapter 7 talks about judging others. Then we get to verse 7, it's ask, seek and knock. And now we are at verse 13 and 14, Matthew 7, 13 to 14. And it talks about roads. It gives us a scenario of a narrow gate. And, today we are reading that enter through the narrow gate. For wide is the gate and broad is the road that leads to destruction. And many enter through it. But small is the gate and narrow the road that leads to life. And only a few find it. And so I've titled this, choose the narrow gate, wish ninge add up, choose the narrow gate, choose the small gate and the narrow road. So today we're talking about this small gate and a narrow road that leads to life, and only a few find it. And times wakati unaongea na vijana inakuwa ngumu sana ukiwaambia kuhusu this narrow road, because we've created a scenario of a narrow lonely road. Inakaa ni kama manzi huku hii form si aina watu, si form mimi nataka mahali tuko wengi, nataka mahali tunajibamba etc. But when you're talking about the narrow gate, the narrow road, we talk about life versus destruction. So here the offer is one for life and the other one is for destruction. So enter through the narrow gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the road that leads to destruction, and many enter through it. So many will enter through it. On a daily, many enter through it. We see how we live life. Some of us are Christian by name, lakini ukichunguza kabisa on which road you are on, you know which road you are on. Ukijichunguza kabisa on which gate you are knocking on, you know which gate you are knocking on. But small is the gate and narrow the road that leads to life. And this takes me to the book of Psalm, and that is Psalm chapter 1, and we learn more about life on this narrow road. So what is life on this narrow road? How does this life look like? The word of God says, blessed is the one who does not walk in steps with the wicked, or stand in the way that sinners take, or sit in the company of mockers, but whose delight is the law of the Lord, and who meditates on his law day and night. That person is like a tree planted by streams of water, which yields its fruit in season, and whose leaf does not wither. So tuanzie hata kwa cancel una keep. Hiyo nakwambia uko kwa road gani? Kama uko tu kwa mbogi ya sherehe, mbogi ya mafom, hakuna hata godliness, any form of purity conversations there, inakuwa ni kama uko kwa road inakaa iko na watu wengi. Unajua tunaangalia watu wengi, tunaona ni kama company iko sawa hapo, lakini kuna mahali unaweza kuwa hauko na watu wengi, but you are right, because at the end of it all we want life, and Christ gives us life, and he says, I give you life and life in abundance. So when you're talking about roads, and we are being told about a narrow road, and then Christ says, I'm the way, the truth, I'm the way, so he knows what he's saying. So inaweza kaa ni kama ni lonely. I don't think the Christian walk is lonely. I don't think the Christian walk is strict, because when you get to do what is right and it becomes a part of you, that is the life you're living. So the counsel of of the wicked, or stand in the way that sinners take. Uko kwa road yenye sinners take, ndio route ya sinners. Uko hapo between you and that sin, like you are walking in that direction. Ama you are on a road that people who are walking in that sin are using. That means one way or another, sooner or later, you'll be doing what? You'll be walking there. You'll be doing what they are doing. And Lot kwanza alijenga nyumba mahali anaona Sodom na Gomora. Lakini wakati Sodom na Gomora ilikuwa inaleta noma, he was actually a very influential person there. And that tells you about even facing that direction and what might happen. So today, a narrow road, a small gate, it does not look appearing, but that's where life is. Nobody chooses distraction by choice. Some choose distraction by choice. Some say liwe liwalo, me I'm gonna live my life. Uko mbele tutapatana na kile kitatupata kule mbele. Some are there and they're realizing, okay, why does this road looks like? Why do I feel like this? Why is there emptiness in me? Why do I do all these things? Naenda hizi madunda, naenda hizi rave, na kunywa matei, navuta kenye navuta, lakini bado kuna hii emptiness. Like this life does not fill this vacuum in me. And today I want to tell you there is hope even for you, ambayo ukijiangalia leo unasema I'm on this road yenye iko na watu wengi, but it's clearly leading to distraction. There is also hope. So here, I'm not here to judge you. I'm just here to bring this awareness of roads that we are walking and gates that, chances are the gates we are looking at. When you're thinking of gates, you're thinking of these beautiful things, big, na watu wengi wako huko. Kama utajipata kwa narrow road peke yako, ama unatembea na watu wawili watatu, you know what? It leads to life. So you have to make decisions that pertains, godliness. You have to make the decisions that even pertain the counsel that you are in. You have to make bold decisions that pertains even the lifestyle that you're pushing, or the lifestyle that unaishi. Ndio umejoin kampo juzi, unajua nakaa karibu na campus. Na saa hizi mafirst year washazoea shule. I see things there and I'm like, and I was once a fresher on that other side, or rather first year on that other side. I'm like, you know what, I wish this road mahali takufikisha, and I pray that you're lucky enough, like Mankaris, that you get to live, enough to say hii life enyewe mimi nawacha. You make that bold decision. It doesn't have to get you to a point of being hospitalized, ama unasema niliponea chupu wacha niokoke sasa. Hapana. You can choose that decision you can make that decision today, that the narrow road inaweza kuwa high entail mimi kufanya vitu fulani, but it leads to life. So the psalm tells us that the narrow road to life leads us to be like a tree planted by the stream of waters. A tree that yields its fruit in season and has evergreen leaves. It tells us that when we walk in step with Jesus on the narrow road, whatever we do prospers. Manze, it matters for eternity. We have purpose and hope and endurance on this narrow road with Jesus. And then there's good news here that I'm bringing. And this good news is that it's never too late to be back on the track. It's never too late to come back to this narrow road. It's never too late, to choose that small gate that leads to life. It's never too late to look at life from a point of, eternity, from a point of, prosperity in the right way, from a place of, something happened on the cross for me to have, this salvation, and you take it deep in your heart, and with a heavy, whatever heavy will mean to you, that, what, I'm not going to compromise. I'm not going to compromise on these things. You can come back this afternoon. So maybe you are in a place and you are not evergreen. Seasons zinakuchapa vile zinakutandika. I desire that we have purpose and hope and endurance on this narrow road with Jesus. It's not easy. That's why my prayer is for endurance, a hope and a purpose that no matter what comes, this narrow road, mimi nitaka hapa. So what does it entail being on the narrow road? There's so many things and you know them. But Psalm chapter 1 gives us a deep insight. The counsel you keep, the road you walk into, the people you hang out with, the life you're living. You're living a life anye unakuokoka tu by words. When was the last time you even tarried in a place of prayer? When was the last time you read the word of God for what it is? When was the right time you read and obeyed? You're like hapa na kiboko kamenichapa. And I pray that this afternoon you make that decision to come back to this narrow road and be bold as you walk in this narrow road, and purpose, and pray for endurance. Wakati dealers ingiani, wakati rent imechelewa, wakati job application ijaenda through, wakati unapata hiyo call, unasikia tulipata application yako tu, lakini lazima ufanyika kitu fulani. Unasema, you know what, I need this job, I need this for money, I need this and that, but on this narrow road, I have to purpose. And so I'm saying no to anything that is ungodly. that you purpose that on this narrow road manze hautakuwa popular, maybe hutakatiwa na mabazenga vile wengine wanakatiwa na mabazenga, maybe kijana huta attract the kind of ladies unaona huko kwa Instagram etc, but on this narrow road manze there is purpose, you know, there is a godly plan for you to prosper. You know, one day as you walk on this narrow road, you're gonna get there, you're gonna have a family, you're gonna settle in the way that the Lord desires for you. So choose the narrow road. So this to encourage anybody on this narrow road to endelee kusukuma, and also to bring the good news for anybody who is on this wide road. Iko na mbogi, iko na raha ya watu wengi, and the word of God says many will enter through it, but small is the gate and narrow the road that leads to life, and only a few find it. Let's be amongst the few that find it. There is hope. There's good news.